Now, an ally of Alexei Navalny, the deceased Russian opposition politician, says Navalny was close to being freed at the time of his death. In a YouTube video, Maria Pevchikh says there had been plans for Navalny to be exchanged for a Russian hitman who's been held in a German jail. Talks were apparently in the final stages when he died. Pevchikh also repeated her allegation that President Vladimir Putin is responsible for Navalny's death. And Vladimir Esipov from DW Russia joins me here in the studio for more on this. Vladimir, welcome. So we're hearing that these prisoner swap negotiations were apparently in their final stages. So had you ever heard anything about these negotiations? I mean, did people know about this?
The only one thing we heard in the last 2 years was a publication on Wall Street Journal a couple of months ago about possible prisoner swap. Ivan Gershkovich, the reporter of Wall Street Journal, an American citizen, could be a part of this prisoner swap. I've heard some noises in political Berlin on this topic, but they were never confirmed by any official state ministry in Germany. And this is normally that such kind of negotiations are never reported before this happened. So it's always being reported after such swaps happen. So all we have is only rumors and noises, and I'm sure we will not get any confirmation either, because it's highly classified.
Could you have imagined, though, that a swap like this, so Vadim Krasikov in exchange for Alexei Navalny, I mean, is this potentially something that you could have imagined happening?
I would quite expect the Russian government would try to press Krasikov back to Russia. It was known during the court hearings against Krasikov in Berlin, which I was attending for many times, that during his arrest, after an hour of these killings in Berlin in August 2019, he apparently told the German policeman that my country knows where I am and my country will take care of me, apparently to the German police. So it was a kind of expectation that the Russian government would try to get him back to Russia, but now it's like out of question for the time being.
OK. Just remind us again, Vadim Krasikov is... Who is he and what did he do?
Russian citizen with criminal background who disappeared in Russia and appeared in Berlin in August 2019. In the middle of the day, middle of downtown Berlin, in the park called Kleiner Tiergarten, killed a Chechen Feldkommander. He tried to escape and he was caged like an hour after in the area of this criminal act. He was brought to justice in Berlin. The court hearings took almost 1 year, and now he's serving lifelong sentence in Germany.
OK. Now, speaking about Alexei Navalny's death, we're hearing from his team that they want to organise a public funeral for him in Moscow on Friday. What do you think? I mean, is there any chance that the authorities would allow a public funeral for Navalny?
This is a big question, because the last big Russian opposition leader, Boris Nemtsov, was killed 8 years ago, and his funeral was a huge event for Russian liberal opposition in Moscow. It was a huge amount of people coming to this funeral to say goodbye to him first. And after it was the biggest march of the Russian opposition ever. And it was the last one, big march, because after it was just gone, and there was no many such huge masses of people on the streets of Moscow. So the question is if the Navalny team will be able to find a room in Moscow for this ceremony, because they put the news on the internet, they are looking for the room to make this ceremony possible. And I would expect they will be having huge problems to get a room for this. And the second question is how the state will deal with this amount of people who will be trying to come to say goodbye to Alexei Navalny. I don't have a clear answer for that, because it's all highly speculative. But I would expect some thousands of Russians would wish to say goodbye to him.
Vladimir Esipov from DW Russia, thank you so much for speaking to me. Thank you.